Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of 6 for 6, Season 2, Episode 2. Glad to have you here with us tonight on tonight's glorious program. And let's get underway. We're going to do with a quick recap of last week, where I'll give you my record of my picks and all that stuff. So last week, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't do so great on 6 for 6 in my 6 picks. We split across the board. We went 3 for 3. We're going to keep track of my record as we progress through this season. So once we get to the New Year's, I'm just gonna have a list of all the weeks that I've done with all the different show episodes of my records into a combined total of how many games that we ended up selecting. Obviously, this number is going to change between different sporting events. Going to come up those versus that are more sporting events where you're going to have a winner and a loser versus those are like racing and stuff that's going to happen in the Winter Olympics and stuff like that. So we're going to figure out that as time progresses. But right now my current record for this year is 3-3 for my 6 for 6 picks. But we're going to see how I develop and improve as time goes on. I'll give you like each week of recap of my record and then the overall record coming through. So before I get into my 6, we got a comment coming in, and Kirsty Wilson's tuning in. Hello, Kirsty Wilson. Hope you're having a great night and enjoying tonight's program so far. Now, to start us off, we have a split board where we got 3 NBA games that we're going to look at, and then the NFL playoffs coming up as well. So I got 3 games that you should tune in for those. So let me knock out the NBA first, then we'll do a quick recap, and then we'll have the NFL, and then we'll do a full show recap, and then that'll be tonight's program. So let's get it started. So in the 6th spot, we got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. Friday Night Lights, you can't get better than this. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on ESPN. It's great to see basketball is in the full swing of things as the NFL is dying down. Same with football. Now we can start focusing our attention to basketball and college basketball. So looking at this matchup, we got the Mavericks who are 22-18 versus the Memphis Grizzlies who are, I believe, 29-14 as of today. But obviously that changes as they play games. Right now, the Memphis Grizzlies are favored with a 51.7% chance of winning this game. But if you look at some of the key points, the Dallas Mavericks will have 2 centers out that game versus, the Memphis Grizzlies missing 3 key players on their side of the ball. So it's going to be really interesting as we see these teams progress. Right now, both teams are on a 5-game winning streak for the last 5 games. So they're going to try to improve that and continue that streak going. But ladies and gentlemen, for me, I'm going to have to pick the Memphis Grizzlies in this one. They're at home, and it's going to be a great way to reach that 30 wins in their category, getting close to the playoffs where you only need to go almost 500. So they're literally at that point 20 games away from sealing their fate and getting a good seat in the playoffs. So like I said, it's that milestone. As soon as you get to that 40 mark, you just got to win a few more games, and then life is set for you. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go with the Memphis Grizzlies. I see we have a comment. I think it's probably going to be Kirsty Wilson. She's going to go with the Dallas Mavericks and picking because she likes Luka Doncic. So that's what she's going to go with. Next up in our pigskin pick'ems, I'm thinking of no BS, ladies and gentlemen. But we have in our 5th spot, we have the Nets and the Bulls tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on ESPN. The Brooklyn Nets are struggling this year, ladies and gentlemen, with players being healthy, Kyrie Irving being out from time to time again with COVID, issues because he's not vaccinated and all that stuff. So just keeping an eye out for this team. You just got to look at some of the key players that are going to be out. James Harden is a day-to-day. LaMarcus Aldridge is out tonight. That's a lot of key players for this Brooklyn Nets team being out. On top of that, the Chicago Bulls have no injuries listed. And if you look at the Chicago Bulls, they have won 4 out of the last 5 compared to the Brooklyn Nets, 2 out of the last 5 games. As you can see, the Chicago Bulls are on a streak. They're trying to, rebuild, go on a 2-game win streak tonight. And plus, they are at home. As you're going to see, there's going to be a common theme tonight where I pick a lot of the home teams, and ESPN is picking a lot of the home teams as well. But the Nets are 25-14, and the Chicago Bulls are 27-11. And the Bulls are 55.2% favorites to win this game. So I'm going to go with the ESPN's percentage on this one. I like the Bulls as well. they're going to take care of business and win this game and really put them, in a better position in the East, getting them close to that 30 games as well. But as you can see, Kevin Durant's still leading that team for almost getting 30 points per game compared to DeRozan with his 26 points per game. James Harden's leading the Brooklyn Nets with assists, and Lamar the Ball brother is leading the assists as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on with this game. So we got to see how that progresses. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pick the Bulls in tonight's game against the Nets on ESPN. Got some comments rolling through. You got Isaiah celebrating his Georgia Bulldogs winning a national title. Kirsty Wilson is going with the Bulls in this game. And then Ashwin's tuning in. He says, how you're going? I'm doing great. And on top of that. And then we have Ashwin tuning says, can you share this on Instagram? Feel free to share this on Instagram on all social media platforms as well. And Demi alluded, it's injured, but not tonight, Justin. I just checked it recently before I built tonight's script. On top of that, we'll have to see. But let's move on to our fourth game. And tonight we got Warriors Bucks on Thursday, which is tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific on TNT. With this game, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo against Steph Curry. Great matchups. This is going to be some, potential NBA championship one day, but we got to see how the Bucks, remain healthy since they have two key players out with Drew Holiday and George Hill. But the Golden State Warriors are missing Draymond Green in this one. So those guys are going to be out as of Thursday, as today's date. That may change. But you got to see on top of that, Giannis Antetokounmpo is, 28 points per game compared to Stephen Curry's almost 27 points per game, a lot of points production. But Draymond Green gets more rebounds than the assists. But since he's out and probably won't be back for tomorrow's game, that's going to be a key factor on this team. But at the same time, the Warriors have Klay Thompson back. So I can see a lot of good dynamics developing for this game. But at the same time, the Warriors are 30 for 10 as their record, and the Bucks are 26 for 17. ESPN has the Warriors as the favorite with a 51.7% chance to win it. I'm going to have to go with ESPN on this one as well. I think the Warriors are going to win this as well. And if you look at their win streaks right now, the Bucks only have won one out of their last five compared to the Warriors 2 out of the last five. Both their last games that they played, both have losses, so they're trying to redeem themselves and get back on track in the win column, ladies and gentlemen. But, I'm going to go with the Warriors on this pick. I'll read some comments before I get a quick recap of the NBA games that I have. And Isaiah says that's going to be a huge game, Warriors versus Bucks. And with Justin saying it's a huge loss that Draymond Green is out. And Isaiah says he's looking for it to be a finals as well. Yes, Warriors-Bucks could be a nice finals matchup. I can't wait to see that happen, but we got to see who remains healthy and what players go out as well. Now, we got a quick recap for our fans who are tuning in. We got in the sixth spot, we got the Dallas Mavericks against the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm picking the Memphis Grizzlies, which are being played on Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern at 7 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. Next up, we got the Nets versus the Bulls tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on ESPN. I'm going to choose the Bulls in this game. And then next up, to cap off the NBA, we got the Warriors versus Bucks Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific on TNT. And I'm going to go with the Warriors on this one. Now we're going to get ready for the before that, it seems like we got breaking news. The Clippers are leaning towards shutting down Paul George for the year with his elbow injury. We'll talk a little bit more of that maybe on No BS tomorrow, but we got to see how we develop our script. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to our NFL, selecting the best 3 NFL playoff games to watch. It doesn't matter in any particular order, but I think ranking it like this is going to be a huge factor in how I think games are going to be played, games that are going to come down to the wire and be very difficult to pick. Now, with this one, we're going to go with the Patriots and Bills. It's in Buffalo. But ladies and gentlemen, as of now, as today's temperature, if they, will play Saturday and the weather does not change, will be 3 degrees in Buffalo. Yes, it's going to be cold. It's at night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 5:15 p.m. Pacific time on CBS. It's going to be cold in Buffalo. It's not going to be favorable conditions, but both teams are in the cold. They've played in the cold, but you're going to see a lot of run game between these two teams in this one. And with the Bills having more playoff experience compared to Mac Jones in the playoffs, I'm going to lean more towards the Bills on this one. And ESPN's doing the same. The Bills are a 61% chance of winning this football game. I'm going to have to agree with ESPN on this one. But at the same time, the Patriots came off a tough loss, and the Bills came off of a win. And right now they're on a 4-game winning streak. The Bills hoping to build this momentum in this postseason to make a deep run in the playoffs. But time will tell what this Buffalo Bills team can do. Next up, before I go in the 2 slot, we got some comments coming in. You got John Alcorn. He says, great show so far. Thank you for tuning in. And then no doubt about it, for the Bucks game is going to be fire. I will agree with you, John, as well. That Bucks and Warriors game is definitely going to be an interesting game as it develops. With that, we're going to go to our number 2 slot, ladies and gentlemen. In our 2 slot, we got the Raiders and the Bengals in Cincinnati. Temperature of this game is going to be 27 degrees. It's in the day, so it's not going to be as cold. So the Raiders may have a chance, but at the same time, they are a dome weather team, which that means when it's cold, these teams that play in warm weather climates going to the cold tend to struggle. So Derek Carr hasn't been in the postseason in this cold weather. It's going to be something interesting for him. Will he stick to the run game, or will he have to go out in the air? But as of tonight, Josh Jacobs is questionable. And a lot of key components, Darren Walker, Willer is going to be questionable for that game. But at the same time, Trayvon for the safety is going to be out as well. Well, questionable. When you look at the wide receiver core for Cincinnati, T. Higgins is going to be out. Stanley Morgan's going to be questionable. So there's a lot of players going to be out for these teams. That's going to be very critical. But at the same time, this game, I would say, is going to come down to the wire. Who's going to have the ball last, and how much time are they going to give the other person at the end of the day? But I think with the Cincinnati Bengals are looming for their first playoff victory, I think Joe Burrow can muster up a 2-minute drive and win it and prevent Derek Carr having enough time on the clock to go down and score in the final waning minutes of this game. But at the same time, you have that veteran component in Derek Carr, though he hasn't really had that playoff experience as much. I think Joe Burrow has that swag and that, potential to seal this deal and get Cincinnati its first playoff win in ages. So that's what we got here. And ladies and gentlemen, with the last pick of the 6 for 6 for tonight's program, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Cardinals and the Rams, the game that everyone thinks is going to be the most high scoring game of this, probably, I would say, this postseason. Both teams come off of heartbreaking losses last week. The Rams lost in overtime, though they still clinched division. Both teams are coming off of losses, trying to rebuild, trying to recoup. And this game is on Monday night. Super, NFL wildcard weekend. Can't get much better than this to cap off this week. So definitely a great game to tune into. But at the same time, J.J. Watt's not going to be playing for the Cardinals. At the same time, Matthew Stafford is questionable for the Rams. So if Matthew Stafford is out, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. But at the same time, Cooper Kupp has been having a phenomenal year. I know Matthew Stafford is probably going to go to him a lot in this game to keep them within reach of beating the Cardinals. But at the same time, Kyle Murray is going to be running around the field, making plays happen. But at the same time, the ESPN has the Rams winning this. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams fall short after that heartbreaking overtime loss to the 49ers. But I think they're going to come out swinging and win this game. And I'm going to have to agree with ESPN on this one and going with the Rams on this one. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll do a quick sports recap. Before that, I'll give 2 comments going in. And that John tuning in says, well, not a big fat contract for the Clippers and giving Paul George a look even more dumb now, but at the same time, and he was going to trust, with that as well. Oh, man. But that, ladies and gentlemen, with the Mavs, let me read John's comment again so I can really get it out there. I know I just stumbled across that and all that stuff. He's going to trust McVay more than he does with Cliff Kingsbury on this one, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we'll do a quick sports recap with all the picks that I have going in, and then bring this program to a close. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give our shows with that. So we got the Dallas Mavericks against the Memphis Grizzlies on Friday, January 14th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on ESPN. I have the Memphis Grizzlies winning this game. Next up, we have the Nets versus the Bulls tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on ESPN. I'm going to go with the Bulls. Next up, we got the Warriors and Bucks Thursday night, January 13th, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific on TNT. And I'm going to go with the Warriors on this one. Next up, we got the Patriots and Bills. The temperature is going to be 3 degrees. Mac Jones' first time in the playoffs. I think Josh Allen has that more playoff experience. He's going to be able to pull out the win on this one. So I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills in this game. Next up, we have the Raiders and the Bengals. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow making a last-minute drive to win this game to prevent Derek Carr from winning. But that's going to be on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific on NBC. And to cap it off, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Cardinals and the Rams. I'm picking the Rams on Monday night, January 17th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 5:15 p.m. Pacific on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus. So we got 3 channels where you can watch that game. So you cannot miss that game. So that's why I got put as the number one. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude tonight's program. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the sporting events that are coming this week. Hope you all enjoyed. Tune in to No BS tomorrow, and we'll see you all then. Take care for now, and so long from the MI6 Sports Network, and see y'all next time. So long. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye.